Hello, this lesson is going to be on graphing lines using y equals mx plus b. Okay, so whenever you're graphing lines, you need to remember always this format: y equals mx plus b. M stands for the slope, and m is the number in front of the x, and b is the y-intercept, and is always the number without x. Okay, so let's go ahead and zoom in into these particular problems, so we can have a better look at them. And let's see how we can graph these lines. So basically, here I have this function, and first question I need to ask is the y alone? Because if the y is alone, then the equation is going to be in this format: y equals mx plus b. So the y is alone, so that's great. So that means I can identify my m and my b. My m is the number in front of the x. So in this case, my m is 3. And m is the slope. So we always want the slope to be a fraction. So if you happen to have a whole number like this, to turn this into a fraction, all you have to do is put a 1 underneath. Okay? Because we want it as a fraction because the number on top is going to represent your rise, and the number on the bottom is going to represent your run. Okay? Alright, now the letter B. The letter B is the number without x, so in this case it would be -7. Once we have these two pieces of information, we can start graphing our line. We start graphing by plotting the y-intercept. The y-intercept is always on the y-axis, so you put your pencil at the origin, and because this is -7, you go down 7, and you're going to make your first point right there. Once you have your y-intercept, you're going to look at your slope, and the number on top is going to tell you rise. So because it's +3, you're going to go up 3, and you're always going to go to the right first. So always go to the right first. So the slope is telling you to go up 3, and it tells you to run 1, so over 1. So you're going to go up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, and there's no more that I can go. So once I finish the right side, I return to the starting point, and then I do the very opposite. Instead of going up 3, I'm going to go down 3, and instead of going to the right now, I'm going to go to the left. And so you go down 3 over 1. And if you notice, we have a straight line. So for my assignments, make sure you're making the points like I'm doing here, and then you connecting the dots with a line like this. So on your papers, I should be able to see the line and each point that you use to create that line. Alright, let's go to example letter B. Here, first thing we ask, is the y alone? Yes, it is. So we can identify m and b. My m is -2, and because it's a whole number, I'm going to put a 1 underneath to make it into a fraction. And my b is number 4. Very well. I'm going to start graphing by starting with the b. So I go up 4 and make a point there. And then using my slope, the slope tells me -2, so I go down 2, and I always go to the right, so right 1. So down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1, all the way down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. Once you finish the right side, return to the starting point and do the very opposite that the slope is telling you to do. So instead of going down 2, you're going to go up 2 over 1 to the left, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. And once you have all the points, connect the points. Okay, so let's move on to the next example. Please remember, this is a video, so you can stop the video anytime you need to see the problem more closely. or need more time to make some notes. Okay. Alright, next problem, letter C. Always ask yourself, is the y alone? Yes, it is. So let's identify m and b. And m is the number in front of the x, so this would be negative 2/3. And the b will be the number without x, in this case would be negative 2. We always start with the b, so I'm going to go down 2. And there's my b right there, my y-intercept. And once I have that, I go to my slope. My slope tells me to go down 2, and I run 3. Always go to the right first. So down 2 over 3, down 2 over 3. And then once you fill in the right side, let's go back to the starting point, and I'm going to do the opposite. Up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3. And now that we have those points, let's connect them. And there we go. Very well. Let's go on to the next one. Again, this one, the y is alone, so I can go ahead and identify my m, which happens to be 3 over 2, and my b, which is 0. Okay, once I have that information, I can plot my line, or my points. So I start with b, which is the y-intercept, which is a 0. And from that, I use my slope, which is up 3, and I always go to the right first. So right 2, up 3, right 2, up 3, right 2. Once you fill in the right side, let's go back to the starting point and go down 3 over 2, down 3 over 2, down 3 over 2. And then connect the dots. And there's my line. Alright, very well. Let's go on to the problems on the back side of this paper. Let me make it a little bit smaller so it can fit everything. Alright, there we go. Okay. If you notice, these problems on the back here does not have the y alone. So first order of business is to get this y alone. So how am I going to do that? Well, first of all, I'm going to send that 2x to the other side of the equation. So let me pull it down a little bit. And I'm going to have negative 3y equals 6. If the 2x moves to the other side, it becomes negative 2x. Okay, is the y alone yet? No. So how are we going to get rid of the y? How are we going to get the y alone? We're going to divide both sides by negative 3. On this side, the negative cancels, the 3 cancels. I am left with the y alone. And then 6 divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 is a 2. And a positive divided by a negative is a negative. Negative divided by a negative becomes a positive. Can I divide 2 by 3 and I get a can I divide 2 by 3? And the answer is no. So that means I'm going to leave as a fraction. So 2/3. And so basically now I have similar equation to the ones in the front, where now the y is alone, so I can identify my m and b. Remember, m is the number in front of the x, so in this case, my m, my slope is 2/3, and my b is negative 2. With that 2 pieces of information, I can graph my line. I will start at b, which is negative 2, and from that, I'm going to go, using my slope, I'm going to go up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3. Once I fill in the right side, I'm going to go back to the starting point, and I'm going to go down 2 over 3, down 2 over 3, and then down 2 over 3. And then all I have to do is connect the dots, and voila, I have the graph of my line right there. Alright, let's go to letter F. First thing I'm going to do is move that 4x to the other side. So this would be negative 8y equals 16 minus 4x. Is the y alone? Not yet. Let's divide both sides by negative 8. And the negative cancels, the 8 cancels. I'm left with the y alone. Positive 16 divided by negative 8 will be negative 2. And a negative divided by a negative is a positive. And can I divide 4 by 8? No, I cannot. But can I reduce this fraction? Is there a number that divides 4 and also divides 8? And that number is 4. So in other words, I can reduce this fraction, 4/8, into 1 over 2. Okay, so right here, instead of writing 4/8, I'm going to write 1 over 2. Alright, so that is the equation with the y alone. So let's write the slope and the y-intercept. The slope is going to be 1 over 2, and the b is going to be negative 2. So for this particular problem, we're going to start our graph at negative 2, and we're going to go up 1 over 2 to the right, up 1 over 2 to the right, all the way till we fill in the right side. Once we've done that, we return to the starting point, and we go the opposite way that the slope is telling us to go, which is we're going to go down 1 over 2 to the other side, down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, all the way until we finish the left side. Once that, connect the points, and that's your line. Okay. Very well. Let's go on to letter G. Again, we want the y alone, so we're going to move the 9x to the other side. So this will be 15y equals 30 minus 9x. Then we're going to divide both sides by 15. The 15 cancels. Y equals 30 divided by 15 is 2. Can I divide 9 by 15? The answer is no. Can I reduce this fraction? Is there a number that divides 9 and 15? Yes, there is. There is a number. That number is 3. So 9 divided by 3 will give me a 3. And 15 divided by 3 will give me a 5. Also, don't forget your sign. Negative divided by a positive is a negative. So that's my equation with the y alone. So my slope is y equals negative 3 over 5. And my b is positive 2. So I'll start with my b. And then with that, I'm going to use my slope, which is down 3 over 5. Down 3 over 5. And then up 3 over 5. Up 3 over 5. With those points, I connected the points, and that's my new graph. Very well. Let's go on to the next problems. The next problems are special cases. Basically, they're going to be either vertical lines or horizontal lines. If you remember, if you have y equals a plane number, that means you're going to have a horizontal line. And if you have x equals a plane number, basically you're going to have a vertical line. The way I remember most is just when you see y equals negative 2, find negative 2 on the y-axis, which is right there, and then just draw a horizontal line. So this would be y equals negative 2. And for x equals negative 2, just look on the x-axis for negative 2, and that will be your line. So please remember, if you have y equals a plane number, you're going to have horizontal line. If you have x equals a number, then you're just going to have a vertical line. Okay, this concludes the lesson on graphing lines using y equals mx plus b. I hope you found this lesson helpful, and thank you very much for your time, and have a great day.